Hey guys, Sarah here from Marital Glue. This is kind of a different video, but I thought as a Marital Money Monday, which we now plan to do just occasionally, not every single Monday, but just a couple Mondays a month, maybe just one Monday a month, depending on what we have to talk about and our schedules and that kind of thing. We're just trying to keep our content videos exciting and new and fresh, which with our busy schedules means that they're just going to kind of come out randomly. But now that we are expecting our second child, and if you follow our vlogs, you will know that this was a very shocking thing for us. We were, I guess you could say, trying, but we weren't trying like we ever thought we would try for our second. We were prepared to go in to learn about secondary infertility, and because we had infertility with our daughter, it took a year and a half to conceive her, and we were told we would never be able to on our own, and we did. We were not expecting to randomly get pregnant with a second baby, so we were just at the beginning stages of thinking about trying when we got pregnant. That isn't to say we weren't ready. It was just to say that it happened in a way we weren't expecting, and for me, that's very exciting, but it also, now that we've really been really good about money lately and trying to follow Dave Ramsey, it did send me kind of into panic mode because we plan to just throw so much money at debt this year, and now all this money is going to the baby. But I thought this was a perfect time to kind of share with you guys how we are budgeting for the baby, what we're doing, how much we're saving, and why, and all that kind of stuff. Now, keep in mind that first of all, every situation is different. I am an in-home childcare provider. I will be taking 8 weeks of unpaid maternity leave. I took 12 weeks unpaid with my daughter, and things were a lot different financially then, but we definitely have a lot of room for saving for this one. But with a second child, you don't need as much. You also probably won't be given as much, but you also don't need as much. We have basically everything we need except maybe a double stroller. I never did get a pregnancy pillow last time, and I already ordered one for this pregnancy because it's already becoming difficult to sleep now that I am 15 weeks pregnant at the filming of this video. And just some other random baby stuff like maybe a new bassinet, we don't know yet. A sound machine, a fan, so our daughter can keep hers, and we can also have that for the new baby and that kind of stuff. Just some random things, and clothes. If it's a boy, if it's a girl, we're pretty much covered, but if it's a boy, we will need to go out and buy some clothes. We don't know the gender yet. We're really excited to find out at 20 weeks, but right now we don't know. But I just want to take you guys along and show you what we're planning for. Now, another thing is, it is really hard to project how much to save for the birth. I think I had really good insurance at the time. I was spending a lot per month with my own policy, not through my husband's work. And I think we ended up spending about $2,500 on her birth. We just paid it off last year. With this birth, I really wanted to save as much as possible on the forefront so we don't have to pay anything after. But we really don't know what that is going to cost. First of all, because we have new insurance, we don't know what that's going to actually cover. It covers all the prenatal, but with that, as far as the birth, it's so hard to know, and you really never know what your birth is going to be like. I'm hoping for a natural birth, but you never know if it may require an emergency C-section, and that will be almost probably double the cost. So it's really hard to know. We're just going to save as much as we can, and I'm going to show you guys the spreadsheet I'm using to come up with our calculations, and I'll show you what calculations we have come up with. So basically in our budget, I just went over quite a few rows and columns to start this little projected expenses sheet, I guess you could say. It's like a projected budget. And what I did is I just looked through our normal monthly budget. I wrote down, or I copy and pasted all of our standard monthly expenses, mortgage, groceries. Groceries will be a lot less because I'm not feeding 10 kids 2.5 meals a day. I'm only going to be feeding my husband, me, our daughter, and then nursing our new baby, hopefully. So I put $350. We may even spend less than that. I really don't know. And we plan to do a lot of freezer meals ahead of time, and I'm in a church group that will probably be bringing me some meals as well. Personal household items, I budgeted $150, diapers, things like that. I won't have Zumba and music classes because my daycare won't be open for those 2 months. And this is just based off 1 month, and I'll show you where I double it to see what it will be for 2 months. Gas, I figure will be about the same. It's mostly my husband commuting, but I'm sure I will want to get out of the house sometimes. Hulu, electric, trash. I don't think our trash bill will be coming any of those months. If it is, there's some wiggle room. It's not going to be the end of the world if it does. Water bill, Netflix, gas, cell phones, internet, car insurance. My daycare insurance will still be due. I think that actually may end in September, but I'm not sure. The baby is due in September. So this is guessing this budget will run between mid-September to mid-November before I get my income back. Our Simply Safe security system is $15 a month. My husband's Spotify account that he listens to at work. Our Bow subscription, I may cancel that by then, but I get bows for my daughter every month for $15. Our cleaner, we kind of went back and forth about whether we would just postpone that, but the thought of being a new mom being a mom with a toddler and a newborn, I just thought it might be kind of nice, so we threw it in there to see if we could afford it, and we can always readjust later, but our rate is based on her coming twice a month, so if we postpone that, I don't know if it'll go up the other months, but I threw that in there for now. Term life 100 and disability that we just signed up for is 200 a month. And then I also have a debts category, so I just listed our debts. We're not planning on paying any debts off right now. We're totally in baby saving mode. That's what Dave Ramsey recommends, and we don't want to start paying off debt and then maybe a child or two leave the daycare, which I've had a lot of changes in my enrollment lately that had me really freaking out, but just having this spreadsheet has really calmed me a lot when it comes to saving and being prepared for this baby, because we had a lot of financial stresses when we had our firstborn. We moved. We lived with our parents. We sold a house. We bought a house. We sold the house for about $25,000 less than we had expected. We were hoping to pay off a ton of debt with that, but it didn't happen. So it was a very stressful time, and I'm just really trying to make sure that this time we have as much figured out as possible. Obviously, things can change, but this really helps give me peace of mind. So yeah, we're not planning on paying any extra on our debt, but we will have to obviously make our minimum payments, so that's what all of those are. And then extras, I was going to cut out all the extras, but I know being at home for 8 weeks with just thinking about a baby and a toddler all the time, I probably will want to go to Target. I probably will want to have a night out with my husband and spend a little money here and there. So we did leave these. We left the pocket money, the higher end that we do, and we just left dining out and family fun, what we normally do. So that's that. So the total of all those categories came out to $46.69.39. Now that's for only 1 month, so I doubled that, and so I just did that box by 2. So that's $9,338. And for a while I was freaked out because I totally forgot, like, my husband will be working during this time, so I thought just for my maternity leave alone I'd have to come up with $10,000. But then I remembered my husband will be getting paid and working during this time, so I calculated what his income will be for those 2 months, and then I subtracted it. So what I will be needing to come up with, or what we will need to save that we will be short for those 2 months, is basically like 1 month. So $4,706. Now that is only for my time that I'm not getting paid. That is not for anything extra we need for the baby or the birth or anything like that. So below this, in this little blue section, I estimated what I think the birth will cost at $3,000. I really have no idea. It could be higher, it could be much lower. Hoping it'll be lower, but I really don't know. That's what I'm guessing. That's kind of the one that we're leaving if we end up not having enough saved. That's the one we will just pay off after. It's not ideal, but we're trying to save as much as possible. But you just never really know. So that's kind of the one if, you know, we're $1,000 short, we just won't pay $1,000 to the birth right away. I mean, they don't even usually send out the bill for a couple months, so we do have time. I just want to be as prepared as possible. Another thing is just baby stuff. We just calculated $1,000. I'm hoping we won't need to spend that much, but I'd like to be better safe than sorry. So that's like all those things I was talking about before: clothes, double stroller, carrier, you know, diaper bag, whatever it is, $1,000. And then my husband brought up a really good point. When we were in the hospital, I was allowed to get food, but we would have had to pay a lot of money for him to get food. It was covered in my insurance, but it wasn't covered for him to eat, so he ended up going out to fast food a lot. So we were thinking it would be really important to have a couple $100s just set aside for money for him or must-haves in the hospital. I really wish we would have had a swaddle last time with our daughter in the hospital because she would not sleep. And you just never know what your baby might need, so we just budgeted a couple $100s of hospital food and must-haves for during our hospital stay. And then one thing it's really important to me, I've gone back and forth. I plan on having a friend do my maternity session, but I really would like someone to come in and do a newborn session. I do have photography skills. I was a photographer, but I really want to be in the photos with my new baby, and I had a session with my daughter, and I just don't feel right not doing it with this baby. So I budgeted about $300 for that. So all together, with all of that, not including my husband's income, so whatever we need for the maternity leave and the birth, baby stuff, and all that other stuff will be $9,206, give or take. So that number is what I had in mind when I set out to figure out how much I will actually be able to save. So this has been the kind of stressful part because, like I said, with the daycare, you never really know for sure. I had a mom just decide to become a stay-at-home mom and gave me a 2-week notice. I have another family leaving for other reasons. Praise the Lord, like I've had kids join on even though I haven't advertised, but you just never really know. So these are my guesses. And so far we've been maintaining that so far through March. So I basically looked at our budget and projected how much we could save each month until the baby comes. So February 1,000, March 1,000, April 1,500. I'll have a full group then, so I'll hopefully be able to save a little bit more. May, same thing, and then June I will have 5 paychecks. My husband will have 3 paychecks, so it's like an extra money month because there are 5 Fridays in June. So I made up a mock budget and figured out we'll have about $3,000 extra to save, which is awesome. But then in July and August, I'm projected to have low enrollment with a couple kids being one kid leaving, planning to go to kindergarten, and then one kid being a teacher's child, so they'll be staying home. And so I don't think I'll be able to save as much. I also made a mock budget for that and figured out I'll probably be able to save about $300 each of those months. So the total amount I'm projected to have saved is $8,300. Now you can see that's about $900 less than what we think we will need, but I'm comfortable with that because things may change. We may make more money than I thought. We may have more kids joining, and I may get temporary kids over the summer. But if not, you know, the birth may cost less, or we'll just have to pay for the birth after the baby comes. When my income's back to normal, we should be able to, you know, knock that out really fast. It's not ideal, but you only have so much time to save. And the other thing we've been doing during this time is trying to get our daughter's room ready for her big girl room, and we're trying to do that as cheaply as possible without like totally skimping out on everything. I want it to be special for her so she doesn't feel like she's just pushed aside because the new baby's coming. But that has involved some furniture purchases, a rug, paint, and stuff like that. And in order to do that, we've also had to get an office area ready in our living room so that our office stuff can get out of her room. So that has cut into our savings amounts as well. But thankfully, we're on target with where I thought we will be. I hope this video was helpful. Obviously, everybody's situation is different. If you have no debt, you're probably going to be able to save more. But, you know, I feel really confident that we will be okay and that the Lord will take care of us. I have learned that over and over in my life, that no matter what, no matter how much you plan, you can't always plan everything, but I feel better being prepared. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I just wanted to give you guys kind of an idea of how we're projecting to save and how we came up with all our numbers and things like that. And if you're a new parent, new expecting parent, and you've never had kids, I hope this gives you a good sense of where to even begin, because it can get a little overwhelming when you've never done it before. So this is how I am saving for the baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned in the future for more Marital Money Mondays. And if you guys have any suggestions for any money topics you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching.